get it on the jet sweep to the short side. Up the sideline. Sam McCaffrey. He is gone.
Intercepted. It is intercepted by the Tigers. Steven Brogan picks it off for LC.
Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies on the road to Canton to the regional semifinal round, along with Tory, Strock, and Lynn Groll. Coach, good to have you back.
Good to be back, Lynn. Man, I'm looking at the list you sent me today, and she is whittled down.
Yes.
But, boy, Mercer County, well represented, and Putnam County, well represented there on that list.
Down to the final 8 in each division. We'll whittle that down to the final 4 coming up on Friday night. Rise and Rewind on Saturday morning. We will recap all of Friday night's festivities around this area and around the state. 9 a.m. again.
Perfect.
Good, Coach?
Perfect, yes, sir.
Okay. We will
Absolutely.
mark that down as 9 a.m. for Rise and Rewind this Saturday as we get you set for the state Final 4. We do not know the state semifinal pairings as we were recording this podcast on Monday. Usually those come out on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll get your input on these regions and who could match up with who coming up next week with your geography skills, Coach.
Lynn, I'm going to admit, you're much better at those projections than I am, so I may stay out of that.
Well, we can go with some history that the OHSA has went by that can maybe help us, but don't know if they will change anything this season. But traditionally, we kind of know which regions match up with which region.
I would agree with that. So looking forward to it.
Don't know where our game cast will be at the time of this recording either. We'll have to wait till Tuesday night or Wednesday before we are figured out and where we're going. They have to go through a process as each one of these sites as far as broadcasting, and we'll find out and let you know on Wednesday at some point.
Yeah, I don't think, looking at this list, we really couldn't go wrong.
No, I agree.
No matter what. Columbus Grove Lipsick is a very intriguing matchup. Obviously, anytime you get to watch the Liberty Center Tigers, that's fun. St. Henry Marion Local, that's the elephant in the room. That may be the hottest ticket in the state.
My goodness. Well, I don't know. There may be one a little bigger down south this week. We'll get to that here in a little bit out of our coverage area. But, wow, tickets went fast for that one.
Well, if it's the one I'm thinking of, they played that at Nippert Stadium in Cincy, right? And, packed it.
Yes.
30-some thousand or whatever. And
well, they're going to cut that down to 7,000 where they're playing this time.
Okay.
Now, Cincinnati has game day, I believe, coming to town this Saturday.
Okay.
Which may affected them. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. I thought that's the game you were talking about. Boy.
It is. We'll get to that. It is Elder and Cincinnati St. Xavier will meet for the 110th time. Sold out the tickets in 1 hour, 7,000 of them.
No kidding.
Yes, 7,000 in 1 hour Monday morning.
And the reality is, and I would never condone this, but you could get some big dollars on the secondhand market for one of those tickets. Let's be honest. Especially if you have a diehard fan like, say, a Ray Carpenter, and he doesn't have a ticket for that game, he would pay anything. I mean, honestly, Ray, if he got shut out of a Liberty game at this stage of the tournament, he'd pay $5,000 if he had to. I'm serious.
Ray and probably about 1,000 others in this town if you're at Liberty Center.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
There's some that would take out a second mortgage if they had to.
Seeds remaining, Coach. There are 21 of the 28 1 seeds. There are 13 2 seeds, 10 3 seeds, 2 4 seeds, 3 5 seeds, 3 6s, 1 7, 1 8, 1 9, 0 10s left, 1 11, and 0 12s.
Wow. 111.
So just 2 outside the top 8, which was the old traditional format for many years that a lot of people would like us to maybe go back to.
I guess, if nothing else, that kind of lends itself to proving that 8 was a pretty good number.
For this year, it was really good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been that way in the past 4 years as well.
Yeah,
since the playoffs have expanded after the COVID year.
Who's the 11 left, Lynn?
I believe it's a Division 7 team. Is that I believe it's Danville over in Region 27 that's playing Jeromesville, Hillsdale. Yes, Danville is the 11, and then Cary is the 9.
Cary's the 9. Boy, that's a good 9. Cary's a good 9. Jeez, oh, Pete. Now, therein lies the problem with 8. A team like Cary, would have been left out this year. For goodness sake, can you imagine?
But what if strength of schedule put them in? Because their schedule is outstanding.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The schedule that they played, Hopewell Loudon, one of those teams that they played to open the season, took a shellacking 30-7. Galleon, who
beat Perkins.
LCC was another one of their losses. They just lost to Columbus Grove last week, and then they lost to Mohawk as well. But they beat Colonel Crawford, who was playing for a regional championship this week.
Yeah. What was their score against LCC, Lynn?
6-0. They lost to the Thunderbirds that Cary.
Defensive struggle.
Lost outstanding running back Eli Steen early on in the season, and they were kind of revamping things was Coach Merschman until they got it figured out.
He typically gets it figured out, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He does.
Bluffton College guy, Bluffton University guy.
Yes, yep.
So that should not come as a surprise.
Yep. The Puckett boys have got it done for them here the last couple months of the season down at Cary.
They're rugged.
We'll get into their matchup against Hopewell Loudon a little out of our coverage area, but a game that we're going to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, Cary's looking for a little revenge in that one.
Absolutely. Host sites this week, anything out of the ordinary in your mind? A little bit of information. The first 3 weeks, schools were given $2,250. This week and next, they're given $3,100 to host. Now, that pays for everything. Every clock operator, chain gang, everything you can think of. The schools can make money on parking and concessions pretty much. They do not get any of the ticket revenue, just like the schools that are playing in these games do not get the ticket revenue like they once did. Some ADs have said, I'm not going to charge for parking. The taxpayers have paid for this facility. I can't charge them to park in a facility that they funded, which I understand, but they also have to make money. I know here at Liberty Center they do not. I don't know about other places and charging for parking, but that's a way that they can make money. Coach?
Yeah, and I've worked at several tournaments. We've hosted at Napoleon, for example, be it basketball and football. And I've seen the timesheet that the folks working the tournament, they sign. And if it's a basketball tournament, they'll work a couple of nights. And there's a lot of names on there to make it go, from ticket managers to security to – there's not much pie left over after those pieces are doled out, I will tell you that. In fact, it's a break even if you're lucky. Based on what I've seen with the timesheets, your best hope would be that you get a bunch of folks to volunteer. That would be your best hope. And every AD that I've ever known, they're not going to ask that. They're going to compensate people for their time working in the postseason. So, yeah, the parking thing is there's certain places you go. Like if you go to a tournament event at like a basketball tournament at Lima Senior, they always charge for parking. And I don't love it, but I also understand why. And so I happily, it's going to benefit the athletic department and the kids. So I'm okay with it, but they've got to do what they can do.
Gracious enough to host. So give thanks to the places that are hosting this week and next week.
Yeah,
folks, don't disparage them because they stepped up and offered their assistance to get this playoff on track.
Yeah, and even if it's maybe not an ideal location, and let's say parking isn't as good as it could be at other places. Just, these people are willing to help. And not just the ADs, but the staff is willing to help for peanuts. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's peanuts.
Yeah.
And so.
If your school has to travel another half hour or an hour more than the other school, okay, big deal. It doesn't affect the outcome of the game.
No.
Unless I'm missing something here.
Well, you're not. And I'll tell you another thing, Lynn. As a player, now I can only speak from my experiences at Liberty Center, but my junior year, first couple games we played at Bath, and we stopped and had dinner in Bluffton, and I would have preferred it be another hour away just because that time, you know, that time pregame, you can cut the tension with a knife. You're with your brothers, and the next game's never guaranteed. So those seconds are precious for those kids, and I'd be shocked if you find a kid. These kids, they don't want to play too close to home. It's part of the experience, you know. Mm-hmm. They want to travel, and it's part of the brotherhood. So I agree. The distance and things, non-factor.
Yeah, totally. Maybe some more sites that maybe made more sense for some games this week. There's a conspiracy theory out there why some of these facilities were chosen and some weren't. The NFHS and Spectrum are broadcasting all of the regional games. Some of these stadiums that were not chosen do not have an NFHS camera at their facility. Do with that information what you want, but I know some things that are floating around out there, and could be a reason why some facilities were not chosen, and a facility maybe a little further out of the way was chosen. Now, I like the local media being able to cover their team.
Yep.
These NFHS and Spectrum will have exclusive video rights to these games. I would like to see the local markets get the chance to have live video of these games, but
and
I don't want to get in too much of a soapbox here. But
I mean, you get like Liberty Center, for example, right? And they've got unbelievable coverage with the Tiger Sports, right? Unbelievable coverage, and but they'll get shut out. I'm assuming.
Yes,
they'll probably get shut out.
Yes,
and
can do audio,
but
no video.
Correct. And they've been there every step of the way, you know. And then when the lights get a little brighter,
and then you have to pay the OHSA to broadcast to these media outlets.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about us.
No.
This affects all of the media outlets.
Yes, for sure.
But just some info for you to kind of marinate on.
Yeah, it's fair.
As we get into the regional finals this week.
Yeah, it's fair because it's true.
Let's take a break, come back, and look at this week's regional finals around the area and around the state.
Who says a college degree is the only path to a fulfilling career? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods with or without a degree. Gherkin provides a generous benefits package, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. We're looking for rock-solid performers to help build and reinforce the region's infrastructure. Whether you have construction experience or are just starting your career, apply now at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
Thank you to the crew at the Gherkin Companies for being the title sponsor of our podcast. Again, this season going to roll right from Division 1 through Division 7 through each region. Region 1, Lakewood St. Edward, 10-2 versus number 2 seed Mentor, who is 12-0. That game will be at Parma Byers Field at Robert Sultan Stadium. St. Ed's favored by 17, according to Fantastic 50 in this matchup.
Yeah, I can't say that surprises me, even though Mentor is a perennial power. Boy, Parma Byersfield has hosted some big games over the years.
Yes, they have.
And Liberty Center played there a year or two ago.
Just last year.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like St. Ed's just because that's the easy perennial pick.
Okay. Region 2, number 1 Middletown, 10-2 versus number 6 Huber Heights Wayne, who is 9-4. That game is at Trotwood Madison High School. Attorney Michael L. Wright Sportsplex is where that is played at. The facility there is Attorney Michael L. Wright has the Sportsplex there at Trotwood Madison. Middletown is favored by 10, according to Ohio Fantastic 50 in that one.
Yeah, discrepancy in the seeds, a 1 and a 6. So on paper, you'd think Middletown, but boy, Wayne, I think it'd be tough to pick against them. They've had a nice run, including a win over Findlay a couple weeks back, 34-10.
Yes. Region 3, number 1 Lewis Center Olentangy Orange, 12-0 versus number 2 Pickerington Central, 11-1. That is at Columbus Historic Crew Stadium. Olentangy Orange favored by 11 in that one.
That's a nice matchup. You know, Columbus is so densely populated with high schools, obviously. So these are two that I don't believe played during the regular season. Just with Orange, there's so many schools just in Olentangy that it only leaves a few games outside of Olentangy to play. Pick Central, I don't believe they played. But there's going to be some athletes on that field. Division I's unbelievable. Olentangy Orange undefeated. Can they keep it rolling?
The not play Pick Central in the regular season.
Okay.
Did you say there's another Olentangy school opening?
It is.
Before we started our show?
It is. That's a fact, and they will be Division I also.
Jeez.
Don't know what the name of it's going to be yet, but it is unbelievable, that area. You used to drive to Columbus on 23, and, back in the 80s, going down to state wrestling or basketball, and it was what it was. Now it, stretches all the way back to Delaware, the sprawl, And, Orange was pretty new. Berlin was, I think, the newest. And it seems like Olentangy Berlin just got up and going. Now there's going to be another high school.
My goodness.
Erected in Olentangy.
Maybe the biggest game in all of the Buckeye State this week in Region 4, number 1 Cincinnati Elder, 12-0 versus number 3 Cincinnati St. Xavier, 9-2. This game is at Mason High School's Dwyer Field at Tri-Health Beacon Stadium. St. X favored by 1. 110th meeting between these two schools all time. As I mentioned, tickets sold out in about an hour. 7,000 is the capacity at Tri-Health Beacon Stadium. 8th meeting in the playoffs with St. X leading the playoffs matchups 4-3, and Elder knocked off St. X 23-13 back on September 26th.
Elder won the head-to-head,
Yes.
but Elder comes into this as the underdog.
By 1 point.
By 1. Whew. You got to believe. I don't know what that facility, looks like as far as the property itself, but boy, you gotta think there could be people climbing fences and, to see that one. Wow. I can understand. Excuse me. I can understand how folks could be upset about, and nothing against Mason. That's a beautiful facility. Mason schools are top notch, but you'd have an issue with that as a fan of either of these schools, I think.
Could they almost fill, I don't even know what the Bengals stadium is. It Paycor Field now,
Yeah.
I believe. It changes all the time. How close would they come to filling that if they could sell every seat in that facility? Could they come pretty close?
If they sold out Nippert Stadium, which I believe they did.
I think, that was like 35,000.
Yes, they'd come close. Those stadiums, those NFL stadiums aren't as big as I think people think they are, maybe 50-some thousand. They'd come close. The bottom bowl would be full, and they'd be...
Yeah, because I think they sold out those tickets in a few hours, too, for that one.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I can understand a little bit of dissension there at that location just because of the magnitude.
Yeah.
And if you're the OHSAA, I know there'd be a hefty rental fee that would come with some of those other bigger states. I get that. But the amount of revenue they're losing out on.
Oh, my goodness.
Having it there.
Yeah. Yeah. Talked to my buddy down in Springboro, Ben Lewis, and he said people are up in arms down there about this site for this one.
I get it. I that's one of those deals where maybe you even though I know those are Cincinnati schools, even if you've got to bring them both north just to have a proper venue,
Yeah.
even if it was,
No doubt about it.
Glass Bowl, BG, anywhere.
Right.
I think
Maybe Miami of Ohio. I think there was an issue where they couldn't have it there either, if I remember correctly as well. That would have been maybe another site that they could have played.
yeah, Jaeger Stadium.
I don't know
That's
if the
beautiful.
Red Hawks have a home game on Saturday or not with Maction going on.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're playing, but I don't think that facility was available for them either.
Yeah, it's a great stadium too.
Boy, whoa, that'll be a one to watch on Friday night.
Oh man, that's 1 point. When
Yes.
that's the spread,
Yeah.
it's going to be a dandy.
Yeah. Division 2, Region 5, number 1, Akron Archbishop Hoban, 10-1 versus number 2, Cuyahoga Falls Walsh Jesuit, who is 10-1. They are playing at Bedford High School Bearcat Stadium. Walsh Jesuit favored by just 1 in that matchup.
And that's a rematch, right? Hoban, I think, got them in a tight one, like 17-14, 16-14.
Yes, 19-14, Hoban beat Walsh Jesuit.
And they're the underdog.
September 26th, another September 26th game.
That week 4.
Well, that would have been week 6.
6, okay.
Now, there's a bunch of week 4 rematches
Yeah,
that we talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
Saturday morning, right? I
Yeah.
don't know if it's just a coincidence or why that is, but
Ooh, man, that's going to be another slugfest. Hoban, gosh, they're so hard to beat. I would have to, if I were a betting man, I'd have to lean Hoban, but Walsh Jesuit beat Central Catholic, so we know they're good.
Yes. Region 6, number 1, Medina Highland, 12-0. Going up against defending state champion number 3, Avon, who's 11-1. This game is at Brunswick High School, Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium. Avon favored by 10. Avon won 28-20 a year ago and 28-14 in 2023 over Highland, the Hornets.
Talking to my friends there at Wadsworth, they said Avon's lines on both sides, O&D line, were just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'd have to go with Avon in that game. But, boy, Medina Highlands, they've come closer to beating Avon than almost anybody has.
Yeah. Avon may be the top team in all of Ohio.
I know.
Regardless of division.
I know. Isn't that something?
I think their only loss was out of state.
Yes.
I believe.
Wow. Region 6. Let me.
If you have it there real quick or beat me to it, I'm trying to find it too.
Yep.
But I'm thinking it was.
It was, yes.
It was a Florida school.
Yeah. Spruce Creek, Florida. They lost 25-22.
Huh.
And, yeah, boy.
That's another good game around the state
It's a great
of Ohio coming up on Friday night in Region 6. Region 7, number 1, Sunbury Big Walnut, 11-1, versus number 3, Massillon, Washington, 9-3. This game is at Zanesville High School, Salzburger Stadium, Massillon by 12. So Massillon's going to have to travel a little bit for that one, all the way down to Zanesville.
This is one, Big Walnut pulled off the upset against the Massillon Tigers, I believe, last year. And so can they do it again? You say they're a 10-point favorite?
Massillon is favored by 12.
By 12.
By a dozen this year.
I'd say that's fair, but that also tells me Big Walnut's pretty good again.
Yeah.
I'd have to go with the Massillon Tigers.
Rounding out Division 2 in Region 8, number 1, Cincinnati Anderson, 12-0, versus number 3, Trotwood Madison, who's 8-3. This game is at Westchester Lakota West High School's Firebird Stadium. Anderson favored by 6 in that matchup.
Yep, coin flip there. Trotwood's always got great size and speed. That'll be a hot ticket down that way, too.
Another one, yes. Division 3, we have an area team playing in Region 10, but first Region 9, number 2, Cuyahoga Falls, Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, 11-0, versus number 4, Cleveland Villa Angeles St. Joseph, who's 10-1. This game is at Twinsburg's High School's Tiger Stadium. Cuyahoga CVCA is favored by 7 in that matchup.
Yeah, that's a dandy. I have trouble, even though they're an underdog and a higher seed, I have trouble picking against Cleveland St. Joe because of what they did to Canfield a week ago. A 32-0 shutout of a very physical Canfield team. Even though they're the underdog, I'll go with St. Joe in that one.
Okay. Division 3, Region 10, Toledo Central Catholic looking to make another march to Canton, well on their way. The Irish scoring 32 points per game, giving up just 14.3. They are playing Rocky River at Clyde. Central favored by 37, according to Fantastic 50, and by 25, according to Dubstat. I believe that 37-point spread is the biggest for any of the 28 games around Ohio coming up this week. Irish making their 14th regional final appearance and been to 11 state semifinals: 1977, 2005, 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2019, 2022, 2023, and 2024. This is the 5th consecutive regional final appearance for the Irish, and they held Walpock under 20 points last week. That was the first time in 24 straight games that a team had held the Redskins under 20 points. Rocky River never been to a regional final. Central Catholic's Jeremiah Fuller has 7 touchdowns over the past 2 weeks for the Fighting Irish. Pirates quarterback Ryan Taylor, 175 at 254, 2,819 yards, 25 TDs. He's ran for 794 yards and 14 touchdowns on 122 keepers. Have some outstanding receivers. Do Rocky River, Tristan Hughes, 1,232 yards and 15 TDs on 71 catches. Rowan Kennedy, 999 yards and 12 TDs on 40 grabs. And then Danny Berg has added 52 catches, 874 yards, and 6 touchdowns for Rocky River, who can chuck it around. But I don't know that they've seen the likes of Greg Dempsey and Victor Singleton and the Central Catholic crew.
You know, just watching some clips, Lynn, on Sunday of Central Catholic and Wapak. We talk about Central's skill guys, as we should. They're dynamic and outstanding. They're guys in the trenches. I mean, they've got some big, strong road graders in the trenches, and those guys kind of fly under the radar in that program because their skill guys are so highly touted. But that's where Central Catholic can get you, is in the trenches. So, oh man, it's going to be a tough night for Rocky River, plain and simple. And you look at their schedule, it's not the same as Central's schedule.
No, this game at Clyde on Friday night, and boy, I think Central Catholic can pick their score.
Yeah, they're going to be able to. And so if you're Coach Dempsey, you want to take care of business ASAP and get out healthy and get ready for the state semis.
How shocked were you by what they did to Wapak a week ago? Or were you not surprised?
Talked to a friend of mine today who's familiar with the WBL. I'll say that. And he wasn't surprised. He wasn't surprised because of the discrepancy at the line of scrimmage. He said, although Wapak is uber talented, we know they are skill-wise in that, their lines aren't the same as they've been the last year, 2, 3, 4 years ago at Wapak, as far as the size and just tenacity and things like that. So I'll be honest, I was still surprised because Wapak's so good. It's hard to beat a team that's that good, that bad. But it tells you more about Central to me than it does Wapak.
Yeah, boy. What a machine they are right now.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, boy. Just loaded with tons of Division I talent. And you have a kid going to Notre Dame and Preston Frizzell, and then Victor Singleton headed to Texas A&M. And then the dudes they have up front. Whew, good luck.
Yeah.
Maybe in a rematch with Bishop Watterson coming up in the state semifinals, state finals. Don't know when they will match up, but those are the two teams in Division III that everybody's talking about. Speaking of defending state champion, Columbus Bishop Watterson, 11-0. They will play Steubenville at Newark High School's White Field. Watterson is favored by 30 in this one against Reno Sackatch's Big Red. Steubenville fell 37-7 to Bishop Watterson a year ago. Bishop Watterson was 0-3 against Reno and crew before that. But a year ago, it was all Bishop Watterson, and I don't know that that's going to change much. It's not, but how rare is it to see a Reno Sackatch Steubenville team be underdogs like that? Yes. It just doesn't happen very often. By 30. By 30. That'd be a big differential, but it could end up being that. It really could. It could be. Finishing out Division III, Region 12, number 1 London, 12-0 versus number 2 Tip City Tippecanoe, who's 12-0. This game will be at Fairborn High School Skyhawk Stadium. Tippecanoe favored by 4, according to Ohio Fantastic 50. Yeah, if you look at Tippecanoe's path to get there, they beat Hamilton Baden a week ago, who's really good. And to get to that game, Baden had to beat Kettering Alder, who's really good. And so Tippecanoe has earned this trip to the final, and I'd be surprised if they don't win it. Yeah, I would be surprised too. Going to take a break, come back and talk about Division IV around the Buckeye State coming up this week.
Hard-working individuals have been the heart of the Gherkin companies for generations. Together we construct the highways and infrastructure that strengthen our communities. Gherkin is seeking rock-solid performers. We offer generous benefits, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. Want to be part of something big, steady, and stable with room to grow? Whether you're experienced or just starting your career, we encourage you to apply at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store off Route 24 on State Route 109, just south of Liberty Center, now has 88 unleaded fuel and is your one-stop shop for fuel, food, drinks, and much, much more, including locally raised meats and home-baked goods. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store is proud to support Black Swamp Football and is the host of the Black Swamp Football podcast, football show, and Saturday mornings Rise and Rewind. Stop in and see Glenn and Greg today and make American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store a part of your everyday routine. The Swanton Welding Company proudly supports our local student athletes and coaches. We're committed to being your local steel fabrication company in Northwest Ohio and building projects across the country. For job opportunities at the Swanton Welding Company, visit www.swantonweld.com or visit them at 407 Zider Way in Swanton. Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Thank you to the Gherkin Companies, American Freedom Energy, Glenn and Greg Badenhop here at Grandma's General Store, and also our good friend Normie Zider at the Swanton Welding Company. Division 4 coming up on Friday night. Region 13, number 1 Perry, 10-2, versus number 2 Cleveland Glenville, 9-3. This game is at Ravenna High School's Portage Community Bank Stadium / Harry Gilchrist Field. That's a mouthful. Jeez, oh, Pete's. Glenville is favored by 15. They beat Perry 12-6 in overtime last year. This is the Perry team that Liberty Center saw 2 years ago in the Division 5 state championship game, but Perry has since moved up a division, and Division 5 teams are probably pretty pleased about that, as they haven't fallen off much here the last couple years.
No, they haven't. And Glenville,
if at all.
Yeah, if at all. Perry, one of their 2 losses. I think they have 2.
Kirtland and Chardon.
Yes.
Is who's Perry's lost to.
Okay, I knew Kirtland. Chardon, I did not. Glenville has 3 losses, 12-9 to Hoban. They played Avon tough. They lost to Avon 28-16, and then lost to Lakewood St. Ed's, a Division I power, 28-14. And they beat Massillon Washington 33-27.
Oh, my goodness. Was that Avon's closest game in state
I'll bet it was.
This year?
I'll bet it was. I will bet you it was. Avon.
12. Yes, it was.
It was.
Yep. It was their closest game by far.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, yeah, by
St.
far.
Ignatius by 26, Glenville by 12, 48 against North Ridgeville, Olmsted Falls 28, 52, 34, 31, and 40, and then the 2 playoff games by 33 and 21 over Wadsworth, who's a really good team, and my goodness. Yeah.
Bottom line is, I mean, you'd be crazy to bet against Glenville. It's unbelievable. And they're a lot like Central Catholic. They'll play anybody because they've got to fill out their schedule. And the average team doesn't want to play them. And, I mean, how can you blame them? So they play all those heavyweights. And they don't mind taking a few losses because once the tournament starts, you don't get to choose whether you play them or not.
Right.
You're going to play them.
Yes.
Jeez, oh, Pete's.
You like Glenville, though?
I like Glenville. There's no scenario. Even if you told me Glenville's 3 top players were out, I'd still go Glenville. No doubt.
Guess we'll maybe find out. Kirtland, we know they're really good, but if Perry can hang in this game against Glenville a little bit and what they did to Perry.
That's a good barometer right there,
right?
Honestly. Yeah. That's a real good barometer.
I hate to compare scores, but sometimes that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And my goodness. Here's another great game coming up. Region 14, which is our local region for Division 4. Shelby, 12-0 versus number 2, Galleon, who is 11-1. This one's at Mansfield's Arlen Field. Shelby favored by 22 in this one, Coach.
Number 1, Arlen Field. What a great venue. Mm-hmm. Beautiful venue. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Deutsch Perry Stadium at BG. What'd you say the line was, Lynn?
Shelby by 22, according to Ohio Fantastic 50.
Now
it was 45-34 when they met back in week number 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big spread. Too much for me. Galleon they didn't have a ton of offense against Perkins. Now, a lot of that has to do with Perkins. They found a way to win. They're going to need more than 17 to beat Shelby. If you can hold Shelby under 42, I'd say your defense did a pretty nice job. It's insane what Shelby's able to do offensively, but Galleon has a puncher's chance in this game. They're physical. They're not huge, looking at some of their clips and photos and that, but, man, they're scrappy as heck.
You ever played Arlen Field?
No. I watched Findlay, under head coach Cliff Height, play Massillon at Arlen Field. And Findlay had a big quarterback, big son of a gun. Schneider, I think, was his name. And they had a running back named Caleb Enright that was a load. I mean, these two, because Schneider, the quarterback, looked like a fullback. He looked like a Division I fullback, and he was a quarterback, and these two were tougher than heck. And I think Massillon beat him at the buzzer. Findlay tried to run a quarterback sneak. They had the ball in like the 1 foot line with time running out, 3, 2, 1. They were out of timeout, so Schneider snuck it, and Massillon stuffed them. That's going back a ways. But that was one of only 2 times I've been to Arlen Field.
Okay.
Great place.
Is that a WPA?
It is.
Stadium?
I think it's a Works Progress Administration stadium. I agree. Beautiful. Well taken care of, a lot of pride in that facility. In Mansfield, with Jokey Bradley, the last decade, they were lights out. Now they've fallen on some hard times here, but still have a great stadium and a lot of pride.
The TY Tigers.
TY Tigers, that's right. And been in their basketball gym
Have you?
for a couple of regional championships. Those are fond memories.
Yeah. Region 15, number 1, New Lexington, 11-1. They are taking on defending state champion number 2, Indian Valley, who is 11-0. This one is at Coshocton's High School Stewart Field. Indian Valley favored by 9 in this one.
Boy, I think New Lexington is gonna battle them. I really do. I would think the line would be more than 9, but you got to go with Indian Valley as long as Kinsey's healthy. And so I'll go with Indian Valley there.
Set a new state record for touchdowns in a career last week, did Mr. Kinsey, and still nobody has figured out how to tackle that beast, like tackling an oak tree.
Mr. Football comes out, the week of the state finals?
I think it does come out the week of the state finals. We have a couple weeks.
Yeah. He'll be a candidate. DeVito at Shelby will be a candidate.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some around the Cincinnati area.
Yeah. If I'll pick your brain and see which regions maybe meet up here in Division 4, Coach. But Region 16, number 1, Cincinnati Indian Hill, 12-0 versus number 2, Germantown Valley View, 11-1. This one is at Fairfield High School's Alumni Stadium. Indian Hill favored by 8 in that matchup.
Indian Hill's had a heck of a season. Favored by 8, that's what you want. You know, if you're a spectator going into the regional final, if you're a neutral observer, I like Indian Hill just because they've got it rolling, but something tells me Valley View will take that game right into the 4th quarter.
Coached by former Defiance College linebacker Matt King is Valley View. So do we get a Shelby Indian Valley state final possibly, or will those two match up in the state semifinals? We have 2 Mr. Ohio's, Mr. Football's potentially in Canton for the state championship game.
Could you imagine? Gosh, you would hope that would be a final, wouldn't you? If both those teams win this week, you'd hope it'd be a final. Boy,
both headed to Air Force, Braden DeVito and Mr. Kinsey.
Can you imagine those two in the same backfield?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, goodness. I'll watch the Air Force Falcons with those two on the roster, and they'll play rather soon. They'll find their way in. I don't care what they have or who they have returning. Those 2, you're not going to be able to keep them off the field.
Yeah.
That could be a semifinal. And
you think it will be?
I think there's a real good chance that'll be a semifinal.
Think they'll put Region 16 and Region 13 together?
I think there's a good chance.
Southwest and Northeast?
Or will they just stay Northeast and
give you the matchups there so you can study it? See what you think. Or do they send?
See, I don't even like speculating on these things, man.
Well, you're the expert. That's why I asked you the important questions.
On some things I am, but the geography stuff, man, I don't love it. Maybe Indian Hill. That may be a final.
I think it's going to be the final.
That may be a final, kind of like Perkins Indian Hill.
Yeah.
Be Shelby Indian Hill. Looking at that you handed to me, I'd say there's a better chance of it being a final now.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think the odds of that being a championship game, that would be on Friday, I believe the Division 4 is, because 5, 6, 7 are on Saturday. So that'd be the afternoon game, I believe, on Friday.
You know, and that's one of those deals like it was with Perkins in Indian Valley last year. They just kept trading scores.
Yeah.
And it's not because the defenses weren't, like, solid. It's because of Perkins' passing attack and the weapons they had, and then Grady Kinsey. And so you think about DeVito and Kinsey. I mean, now Shelby's got some highly touted dudes. You know, Carter Kessler's committed to West Virginia.
Have another defensive end that's highly touted too.
Yeah. So you know their defense is good, but no one has been able to bottle up Grady Kinsey. So they could trade scores. That might be a hot ticket. If you like offensive football, that game ain't going to end up 7-6.
If it materializes, I'd be interested in the attendance because the folks won't have been lubed up too much on Friday at that point, probably.
Right. Yeah, that would be a dandy if it materializes, as you say.
Oh,
Good.
that'd be must watch.
Yeah, it would.
If DeVito and Kinsey are going at it in the state championship, but that rounds out Division 4. Division 5, going to start in Region 17. Number 1, Youngstown Cardinal Mooney, 9-2, versus number 2, Girard, who's 12-0. This game is at Canfield South Range High School's Rominger Athletic Complex. Mooney, who is really good, they're favored by just 2, though. A traditional power is Youngstown Cardinal Mooney, favored by 2 in this one against Girard.
Girard could get him. They beat a good Poland Seminary team at the wire last week, 28-27. Mooney sanded South Range a couple weeks ago. Not the same South Range we know, though. But, 50-50 for me on this one. As much as I like Cardinal Mooney, the little bit of film I've watched, Girard will slug it out with them. This one could come down to a turnover or a special teams play.
Okay. Locally, Region 18 in Division 5, Genoa, number 3 seed, 38.3 points per game, giving up 20.3, playing Liberty Center at Fostoria coming up on Friday night. LC favored by 31, according to Fantastic 50, and 27.5, according to Dubstat. Only meeting before this one in the playoff era was the 2018 regional final, 143-40 by LC. Remember that long pass play by Cam Crew, who came in to
replace. What year was it?
2018.
18.
Replaced his brother, Jarrett, after he got hurt.
Gosh,
that. I don't know, was it a 4th down and like forever in a taxi ride, and they completed that long pass to knock off Genoa at Lake. Remember that? Forget what they called that play in the Liberty Center. People are out there shouting the name at me right now, but it was like the greatest play on earth or something like that. I don't remember. It's been too darn long ago, but great game they played that night. LC is making their 16th regional final and been to 10 state semifinals, 1992, 1993, 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000, returned in 2018 when they played Orville, and then, of course, the last 3 years they've been to the state semifinals, and then the last 2 they've been in the state championship game. Genoa making just their 4th regional final and first since that 2018 game. Comets have won regional title 2008. LC has outscored their foes 582-64. LC as a team averaging 10 yards per rush, led by 1,635 yards and 28 touchdowns on just 111 lugs from junior Garrison Cruz. He averages 14.7 yards every time he gets it. 14.7.
I wonder what Grady Kinsey's average is.
I don't think it's that.
It's not that. I'm going to see if I can find it quick while you're going through that.
He has lost only 4 yards all season. They've only knocked him back for 4 yards all year. Tells you something about that offensive line. Thomas Muller, he's 9 yards away from 1,000, 14 touchdowns. He has one more carry than Garrison Cruz. He has 112. Caden Grindbrink, 68 of 110 for 1,218 yards passing, 15 touchdowns. Cruz has 11 of those catches for 161 yards and 4 TDs. Ethan Gray, 23 grabs, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jackson Lonizak, 18 catches, 442 yards, 4 touchdowns. Foes are 137 and 274 passing against the Tigers for 1,422 yards and 7 TDs. They've been picked off 17 times, have opponents of the Tigers. Opponents average 3.1 yards per rush with 784 yards on 256 attempts. LC has allowed 2 rushing touchdowns all season through 12 weeks. Cruz leads the team with 86 tackles. Lonizak, 6 sacks. Sawyer Bockelman has 5.5. Thomas Muller, 4 picks. And Ethan Gray has 3 for the Tigers. Uphill battle for Genoa this week at Fostoria. Can they compete with this Liberty Center team?
Before I answer that, Lynn, what did you say Garrison's Cruz average?
14.7 per lug.
Okay, based on my stats here, Grady Kinsey, as of November 17th, which is obviously is today, 13.2.
Okay.
And he could be Mr. Football
How
in
many
the state
carries?
of Ohio.
Does it
31 rushing touchdowns, 2,395 yards, 7 200-plus yard games, rushing yards per game, 208. Does not have his number of carries, though, in this collection of numbers. So, but when you rattled off Garrison Cruz's numbers, what if he were on a team?
I would say Kinsey has a lot more carries.
Oh,
because he'll get 30 carries a game.
There's no question. He probably had more than that in the final last year.
Gary's had some games where he's had 6.
Correct.
And over 200 yards.
Correct. Cruz, if he played the majority of his games and carried it as much as Kinsey, dare I say, would be flirting with 3,000. I mean, Kinsey has 2,395.
What if you get the Troy Westoven treatment? When Troy would carry it 45 times a game back in the Rex Lindgren days. Remember those?
I remember them well. If that were the case, he'd be over 3,000 in one season. He'd have a career in a season. It's crazy. And then because he gets to the second and third level and runs people over, you lose sight of how he got there. Now, number one, he can break tackles at the line of scrimmage, but those guys up front are good, and they're unselfish for Liberty.
Yeah.
Unselfish. So, yeah, those numbers, that average, 14.3.
7.
14.7. Rounded up to 15. It's unbelievable per touch. Like if a back averages 5.5, that's good. That's a good average.
Yeah. Add a first down onto that.
Right. That's crazy when you think about it. Back to your question, can Genoa compete? So I've said this every week, and it just hasn't happened, but you feel like every team on their trek down the Clement Trail gets challenged at some point, even before, like the state semis and state finals. I thought maybe Liberty Benton could do it, and that was not going to happen.
This is Marion Local-esque, what Liberty Center is doing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Where they just run roughshod through the whole season.
Yeah, and what's happening with Liberty Center is the bigger the stage, the brighter the lights, those kids seem to just crank it up even more, and it's almost like if a team's going to really get up for them, they're going to get up even more. Yeah. And you would think they don't have that next gear, but they do. And they showed it over here last Friday.
Against Liberty Benton.
Can Genoa compete? You would hope. You would hope. I mean, they were champions of the Northern Buckeye Conference. Was Archbold their only loss?
Yes. Back in week number 1.
So
take that into account. They lost to Archbold, who
was leading Liberty at halftime.
They were leading them.
But it's a half. Yeah.
Right.
Unless Genoa can really get the pass, get Liberty off balance and reeling with the passing game, I don't see.
Can they get them with that up-tempo style?
I mean,
spot the ball.
Spot the ball. That's what they say. I just don't see a scenario unless Liberty turns it over, coughs it up. Genoa would need some special teams plays. The problem with that is Liberty Center special teams are sound, rock solid. I don't see a scenario where it's a ball game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we're supposed to get some weather, but it looks like it's going to move out before Friday evening.
I agree.
But we're supposed to get some rain.
Yep.
Playing on turf, it's not going to have much, if any, impact at all.
No, it's going to be a little bit warmer.
Yeah, and it's not
50s,
supposed to be very cold.
No.
Yeah, we haven't got a bad weather night yet this year.
No.
Through the first, this would be the 14th week.
Yeah. I don't see a scenario where anybody can play with Liberty based on what they've done. There's been a couple games where I've thought, these guys can hang in there with Liberty, and now I'm not even going to say that because of what Liberty's done.
With that line that they have, having just an average back there, okay, you can kind of duke it out with them with just an average back, but they don't.
No.
They got a couple of them that are studs,
Yep.
Thomas Muller and Garrison Cruz.
Yep, and then a name you don't call very often because you don't have to, but Baxter Barrett.
Yep.
He can run the rock.
Yep.
You fall asleep. You pay too much attention to Cruz and Thomas Muller, and here comes Baxter Barrett on a wing counter. And if he gets a step or two of steam, he'll truck you.
Yeah.
And they've got about 4 running backs that stand on the sideline the majority of the game that would start at a lot of schools. Honestly, they just run them in and out by committee when they have a lead, and you're going, "Geez, he's pretty good. He's pretty good."
Yeah.
So Genoa's they got an uphill climb. We'll see. Comes down to matchups. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I'm like you. I don't foresee it either. Genoa been able to hang in there and just boom.
Yeah.
Playing even Steven with them up front. That's what you're going to have to do.
That's what you're going to have to do.
But who can do it?
No.
In Division 5.
No. I haven't seen it, but we'll see if they can carry the banner for the NBC. And
yeah,
I don't know. It'll be the third NBC team Liberty's played. They played Otsego, Eastwood, and now
Carver in the playoffs.
Carver. So this will be the fourth.
Yeah.
So Liberty could have 2 league championships, NWAL and NBC.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, those are the top 4 teams.
Yeah.
Kind of in that.
No, they are.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. They're rolling right now. Where the Tigers, and like you said, they
do
another level. The senior leadership is off the charts.
It is, and
high character kids and
great families.
Yeah.
And again, you think, okay, they don't. You can't have another level, but they do. They've done it every week, so who's to think they can't?
Right. Region 19 this week, number 1 Wheelersburg 12-0 is playing number 3 Nelsonville York, also 12-0. This game is at Hamilton Township High School Alumni Stadium. Wheelersburg favored by 25. Some historical notes on this one. Nelsonville York beat Otsego and Dan Koke in the 1981 state championship, and then Wheelersburg beat Craig Rutherford's Eastwood squad in overtime back in 2015.
Yeah, I watched that one on TV on the Spectrum or whatever. I bought that game in Wheelersburg. When they're good, they're good. I mean, they're physical. Kind of out of the mold of an Ironton, kind of the way they're built.
And beat Ironton this year.
Yeah, right. They did, and I know Ironton won another shot at them. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but I like Wheelersburg in this one.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like Wheelersburg as well. If we're looking ahead to the state semifinals next week, Region 17 is Mooney and Girard. That's in the Northeast. The local region, Liberty Center and Genoa. Southeast region, Wheelersburg, Nelsonville, York. And then the Southwest region in Division 5, Region 20, Lewistown, Indian Lake versus Richmond North Union at Marysville High School's Impact Stadium. Indian Lake favored by 4. So how do you think Division 5 could maybe shake out next week?
I'd be surprised if Liberty Center doesn't get that Indian Lake winner,
okay,
to be honest with you. and then the Northeast Ohio, Mooney and Girard.
They send them to
The
Wheelersburg.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I would be surprised if
I think Wheelersburg and Mooney were about a 4.5 hour difference.
Okay.
I was looking at this yesterday because I was kind of on the same thinking as you, that the Region 18 winner would maybe play Indian Lake.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They may send them to the Northeast
Well, they
region.
played South Range,
South Range.
which is right there.
Yeah, last year.
Yep.
Played South Range.
When Zane was a senior.
Zane Zider was a senior 3 years ago.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be unprecedented.
Yeah, hard to tell what Division 5 gets
Yeah.
shaken up.
Yeah.
Or would they take Wheelersburg and Lewistown Indian Lake and match them up?
I guess for me, any scenario would kind of make
Right.
sense because
I don't think the Liberty Center Genoa winner would play at Wheelersburg.
I don't think so either.
That
I don't
would
think
not.
they'd cross. No.
Right.
I agree. Pretty cut and dried. I think just depends.
Yeah.
I don't know. The OHSA always says, they don't look at the matchups. You know what I mean? Because if they did, there'd be a lot of years where, Marion Local would be playing somebody different in the finals than they do. But I don't know if maybe it kind of hinges on, well, they'll announce it this
Proximity
week.
is-
So proximity's what you'd think.
What usually happens, but we'll find out here in the
Yeah.
next couple of days.
If I had to bet, I'm going to say Liberty Center and the Indian Lake winner is what I'm going to say. Could be wrong.
I'm going to bet they play the Northeast.
Go with Northeast.
Yep.
Mooney Girard.
Yep.
Wouldn't surprise me. They're probably at Clyde or something.
Yeah, last year
Maybe
they
a little
went
further east.
all the way to Parma.
Yeah.
A little further east.
Yeah.
I don't know. May depend on sites that are available too.
That's another good point.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm 50-50 each way kind of
I am
on
too.
where the matchups will be for Division 5 coming up next week, Coach.
And the Genoa fans are saying, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well,
That's right.
not much to change as far as the matchups.
No. Geographically, it's pretty similar.
Yeah. Yes. Division 6 coming up this week, Coach. Big area matchup for us with Coldwater and Anna going at it. But first, we're going to start in Region 21. Kirtland, 12-0 versus number 7 Sugar Creek Garraway, who's 10-2. This is at Louisville High School's Leopard Stadium. Kirtland is favored by 17 in that matchup.
And I know 17 sounds like a lot, but honestly, when you're playing Kirtland, 17's not.
Mm-hmm.
Most teams would be 35 plus underdogs there. So, I mean, Garraway's solid, but
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be crazy to bet against Kirtland.
No doubt about it. I think the Hornets will be back in Canton, most likely.
Yep, no doubt.
Maybe not. I don't know. What if they match up with Region 22 between Hopewell Loudon and Cary? They're playing at Finley's Donnell Stadium. Hopewell Loudon is the number 2 seed. Cary the 9 seed. Hopewell Loudon favored by 4. Won earlier this season, as I mentioned, 30-7 over the Blue Devils. We've seen Hopewell Loudon in person against Archbold. Have not seen Cary outside of some film, but a different Cary team in this one. But boy, seeing Hopewell Loudon and the Chieftains in person, they're a pretty complete team.
Western Reserve beat Bluffton, who, Bluffton's good. Now, Bluffton had some injuries, but Bluffton was a good football team this year, and Western Reserve beat them, and Hopewell beat Western Reserve 42-6. I've liked Archbold all year, and Archbold was a team I liked to maybe win that region, and Hopewell Loudon left, no doubt, a week ago. They're as good as any team we've seen this year relative to, their division and things. As complete a team as we've seen this year. O-line, D-line, skill guys, linebackers, secondary, versatility on offense, how well coached they are. I'm super high on Hopewell Loudon right now. I would have trouble picking against them no matter who they play. I love them. If Cary can knock off Hopewell Loudon, then that's a massive statement because Hopewell looked virtually unbeatable last week.
Yeah, they look all the part. Brian Colatrillo and crew, and great line. 3 different quarterbacks they use, and you think, well, you can kind of scheme to stop them because you know they're going to run it with one guy, they're going to throw it with not so much.
Macomb a couple of years ago had the Schrader kid. Now, I say a couple of years ago, it's probably been 6 or 7.
I think, when they won state.
Okay, yes. And he was Mr. Everything. Played quarterback, return punts, return kicks, could play receiver, could throw it. That's how Brickman is, Brody Brickman. That's how he is for Hopewell Loudon. He just can do it all. He is such a special talent. And I know it's Brody. I don't like saying the wrong name, but I'm sure it is. Number 7. He's unbelievable. And if Carey gets it done, then in my estimation, Carey could beat anybody.
Brody Brickman, yes.
Brody Brickman.
Yes.
He's as versatile as I've seen all year. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, the Frankert kid. Outstanding.
It's a load.
210, 6'2".
Yep.
The Hopewell Loudon's a team of the smaller divisions that we kind of talked about this on our way back from Bascom on Friday night. But I'm not saying they would beat Liberty Center, but they could hang around in a game against Liberty Center with the dudes that they have and the dynamic offense that they have. Now, that would be – I'm not saying they would beat Liberty Center,
right.
But they would make that competitive into the second half.
No, they absolutely would, because –
now, beating them is a different story.
That's a different story. You got to duke it out for 48 minutes, but because of how they're built in the trenches. And they're not just big and stout, they're mean. And then they've got unbelievable team speed, a secondary that can not only cover, but they get involved in a run game. They will come up and lay a hat on you. So when you think ruggedness, most people think Liberty Center, and rightfully so. Hopewell's out of that mold in terms of how they play and just beat you up physically. And, Archbold, they didn't have an answer for it. And Hopewell's the real deal.
Yeah. Yeah, if they would get a matchup against Kirtland, it'd be interesting. Now, Carey people out there that listening to us are like, well, what about us?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked at all if Carey beat them.
No.
Just because of the tradition that they have and how well they're coached and the kids they have, because they'll be in a fist fight.
Yeah, they
in that
will.
One on Friday night.
They will, and a Paulding team that was undefeated and coming off a win against a really talented Fairview team. I mean, Carey, that wasn't even a ball game.
No.
And I thought it could be because of some of Paulding's skill guys in that. Mm-hmm. And Carey put the kibosh on that. They did. So what a collision course. This is one of the games, Lynn, I'm most eager to follow. There's some good ones this week, but Carey Hopewell's one that I'll be looking forward to getting updates on.
A casual fan, no interest or a coverage area like we have, where would you go within a 2.5-hour radius? No, I'm putting you on the spot on Friday night, but where would you go within a 2-hour radius of here?
Marion Local St. Henry.
Okay.
I would. Hopewell Carey would be a top 3.
Okay.
Maybe number 2 for me. I'd like to, believe it or not, I'd like to see Gallion and Shelby. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see Gallion and Shelby.
Mansfield?
Yeah. But Marion Local St. Henry, I guess, if I had to pick.
I'm excited for the potential of some of these Division 6 matchups, not just this week, but the next week and the following week.
Yeah.
When you have Kirtland, you have Anna, and you have Coldwater. Oh, there's going to be some helmet paint exchange.
Yes, there is.
If those teams meet up. Don't know a whole lot about Region 23, which is West Jefferson and North Robinson, Colonel Crawford. West Jefferson, the number 3 seed, 11-1. North Robinson, Colonel Crawford, the number 5 seed, 12-1. This is at Marengo Highland High School's Covret Stadium, Fishborn Family Field. Geez, some of these names of these stadiums are just crazy, right?
Remember when this over here used to just be Tiger Stadium?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's all corporate sponsors and everything else.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Colonel Crawford is favored by 18 in this matchup.
Yeah, speaking of Carey and Hopewell Loudon and rugged physical teams, Colonel Crawford's right out of that same mold. And so I would lean Colonel Crawford, even though West Jeff has a better seed.
Yeah, I like Colonel Crawford, who fell to Cary on October 10th, 24-14. Colonel Crawford's schedule may be not up to some of the other teams that we're talking about in Division 6 at the moment. Their big one was Cary, and they lost 24-14. Maybe that says a lot about Cary.
I think it says a lot about Cary.
But I like Colonel Crawford to get the win over West Jefferson in that Region 23 championship. Coming up, Region number 24, a couple teams that we follow from the MAC. Anna, the 6th seed, 32.2 points per game, giving up 13.8, versus Coldwater, who is scoring 32.4, giving up just 14.5. This game is at Piqua on Friday night. Coldwater favored by 4, according to Fantastic 50, and by half a point by Dub Stat. This is an Anna Coldwater rematch that Anna won 14-7 earlier on this season. Anna making its 4th regional final appearance, been to 1 state semifinal 2019 on the way to their state championship. Coldwater making their 25th regional final appearance. They've been to 18 state semifinals, all coming since 1995, 98, 2000, 2001, 2004, 2005, 2007, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 2020 when they knocked off Coldwater on the way to a state championship, 2021, and then obviously a year ago on their way to the state championship. Anna won 14-7 on September 12th. Coldwater ran for only 60 yards on 26 attempts. Anna had 85 yards rushing on 34 attempts. Coldwater was 10 of 15 passing, 97 yards. Anna threw the air 11 of 18, 142 yards. Coldwater had 157 yards on 41 plays. Anna had 227 on 52 plays. Neither team had a turnover. Coldwater scored first on a 12-yard Braxton Taylor run in the third quarter before Zeb Plyman caught an 8-yard touchdown from Logan Ziegenbusch. For Anna's first score, Cale Hoying caught a game-winning 12-yard pass from Ziegenbusch in the fourth quarter with 3:58 left. That was the decisive score. Anna has outgained their foes 4,092 to 2,747. Anna has 1,801 yards passing. They've ran for 2,291. Ziegenbusch, boy, he's had an outstanding season. 149 to 239 passing, 1,774 yards, and 22 TDs. He's ran for 1,147 yards and 17 more scores on 166 keepers. Plyman has 60 catches, 672 yards, 9 TDs. And then on the defensive side for Anna, Julian Stearns, 10 sacks. Nolan Witt has 8. Hayden Hewitt has 5. And a team best 93 tackles. The Rockets have forced 26 turnovers, including 16 interceptions this season. But Coldwater has, as the seasons progress, like they always do under Chip Otten, figured it out.
They have, and it's hard to beat a team twice. Mm-hmm. You know, the old saying. I have to go with Coldwater just because of tradition and Chip Otten, but. In the MAC, the rematches play out usually very similar to how they did in the regular season because those programs are so consistent. So, but I'm going to say Coldwater turns the tables in this one. I'm going to go Coldwater, one of 3 Mercer County teams playing this week.
I like Coldwater too. I don't know why.
I think you get caught up, a person, not just you. I think a person gets caught up in the name. It's just hard to pick against Coldwater. Wouldn't be a bit.
But can they move the ball against Anna? They couldn't do it the first time.
They couldn't do it. And I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if Anna does it again, but I kind of would because beating Coldwater twice in the same season is a tall order by anyone not named Marion local. I'll tell you that.
Coldwater week 1 beat Valley View, who's still playing in the Division 4 playoffs. Coach 49-48 in overtime. Lost to Clinton Massey 14-7. Lost that game to Anna, obviously 14-7. Lost to New Bremen 16-7. That was kind of the outlier. Was that loss to New Bremen and then 7-6 to Marion local. Coldwater has in these bigger games struggled a little bit offensively.
Yeah.
Can Anna put the clamps on them again. But Coldwater played pretty good defense against the Rockets, too.
Yeah, they did. That was they played that one in a phone booth, man. Yeah, I'm going to go Coldwater, and
does the score change much, or is it going to be?
It's going to be defensive again.
In the teens for one and single digits for the other?
Could be 17-14, could be 10-7. I'd be surprised if it's 35-28.
Oh, I don't think it'll be an offensive explosion. I just don't. These MAC games just don't get that way, especially the bigger ones.
No, it could be a punt return
well,
that is the deciding factor, like in the Coldwater Marion local game.
Right? Yeah.
It's going to be a dandy
return. Yeah,
return.
Yeah, that's another good one coming up at Piqua High School's Alexander Stadium on Friday night. Good grief.
Beautiful stadium, too.
Have you been there?
Yes, I have. And when I went years ago, it was brand new. And, oh, my, all the bells and whistles. Beautiful place.
Okay. Have one more division and 4 more regions to round out our podcast this week as we will get into Division 7 after these messages.
High school seniors, uncertain that college is right for you? Concerned about the cost of higher education? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods even without a degree. That's a good living straight out of high school with no tuition debt. Starting pay between recent college grads and those with high school diplomas is closer than you might think. So if you enjoy teamwork, working outdoors, and being part of something meaningful, consider your options at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
KK Collision is a leader in the auto repair industry that has been servicing Northwest Ohio's auto needs for over 27 years. We offer a fast and reliable repair option that stands above the competition. When your vehicle enters our facility, you can be assured that you have chosen the most technologically advanced repair facility in the area. KK Collision is an automotive body and mechanical shop, as well as both a light and heavy-duty towing service located in Liberty Center. Our towing services cover Northwest Ohio and the surrounding area 24 hours a day. Are you in need of a repair estimate? Visit us anytime during business hours for a free estimate at T556 Ohio 109 on the north side of Liberty Center, or call 888-533-7801 or visit our website at kkcollision.com. Ashball Aerial is a fully licensed commercial drone company providing aerial media for commercial, industrial, and agricultural clients throughout Northwest Ohio. Want a different perspective for your events, construction projects, businesses, and more? Call 419-966-3202 or check them out at ashballaerial.com or look us up on Facebook. Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. If you need help recovering a deer, call Trevor Ashball at Ashball Aerial. He can help you out with his new drone.
I guarantee you that thing's high tech. I mean,
it's got to be.
People that know what they're doing make it look easy. But what did Kevin McCann tell us when he was our guest?
Yes.
He got his son a drone, and he was trying to fly it, and it ended up in a tree.
Still there as far as we know.
Still there as far as we know. He said, it's not as easy as you think.
No.
But Trevor flies that like we would throw a paper airplane.
Yeah, get on his Facebook page, Ashball Aerial. You can send him a text or give him a call, and he will come and help you look for your deer. And if you mention Black Swamp Football, he'll give you $25 off the fee of that.
Very honest young man.
He will do a great job for you. And if
he will.
If there's any possibility that he can recover your deer for you, I guarantee you he will do it. And thank you to Trevor for being a partial sponsor of our podcast again this season. All right, Coach, Division 7, the small school division, region number 25. Number 1, McDonald, 12-0 versus number 3, Mogador, 11-1. This game is at Nordonia High School's Bialance Stadium. McDonald favored by 3 in this matchup.
Yeah, that's a coin flip game there. I'm just going to go with Mogador just because I like Mogador's tradition, and they just know how to win when they get to this point in the season. So I'll go with Mogador.
Region 26, one of our local regions in Division 7. Lipsick, the 3 seed, 11-1 versus number 4 Columbus Grove, who is 9-3. This game is at Lima Shawnee High School's Shawnee Stadium coming up on Friday night. Columbus Grove 32.9 points per game, giving up 14.4. Lipsick scoring 33.1, giving up 18.3 per game. Grove favored by 17 according to Fantastic 50 and by a dozen according to Dubstat this week. Columbus Grove making their 9th regional final appearance and been to 7 state semifinals, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2014, and then each of the last 3 seasons. Grove playing in its 4th consecutive regional championship, of course. Lipsick making its 4th regional final appearance and never been to a state semifinal. Other regional finals, 1994, 2011, and 2019. They lost a snow game at Defiance High School to Patrick Henry that night. Grove is 5-3 against Lipsick in the playoff era. Trevin Baxter for Columbus Grove, 70 catches, 910 yards, 11 TDs. He's got 16 touchdowns overall as he's really turning it on here late in the season. 11 of those receiving, 1 rushing, 2 kick returns, 1 punt return, and 1 interception return for Trevin Baxter. Landon Best now 150 of 215. He is just 12 yards short of 2,000. He has 28 scores. Grove has been on the short end of the yardage stick here the last few games. LCC outgained them 345 to 222. Bluffton outgained Grove 457 to 279. And then LCC outgained Grove again 370 to 253. But they figured out how to win those games, have the Bulldogs this season.
Yeah, it's a game of inches, and Grove finds those inches. Sometimes it's with a pick six, a scoop and score, a special teams play. They've just found a way. Can they do it again this week? You know, you mentioned Lipsick's regional championship appearances. That 1994 Lipsick team was unbelievable.
Is that a Nick Kreinbrink?
It was. Great running back was Trevor Schrader. Eric Chrisman, who went on to play baseball at BGSU, I believe, was one of the receivers on that team. I watched them in the season opener. Vance Knopfsinger from Archbold and I drove over from Bluffton and watched Lipsick and Patrick Henry in the opener. And that Lipsick team was lights out, man. Wow. And Joe Kirkendall's done a fantastic job with 3 other regional final appearances. Great for Putnam County. I think it says something about Putnam County and how tough the kids and programs are there. Can Columbus Grove find a way again, even if they're outgained? Because we know Lipsick's super well coached, and they have an outstanding young quarterback in Mark Kirkendall. Can Lipsick find the formula?
Marquise Williams.
Yes.
Hazelton.
Super athlete. Hazelton's tough runner.
Avery Paris, another outstanding receiver, led the BVC in receiving this season.
Yep. And remember we talked to Chris Barbara at Liberty Benton, and even though Liberty Benton beat Lipsick pretty good, he said he was impressed with Lipsick's skill and all those things. Just Liberty Benton rolled that night. But this one's a dandy. This one's a dandy. At Shawnee. Can Grove, even if they're outgained, Lipsick's good offensively, even if they're outgained, does it come to an end where they still find a way to overcome that?
Haven't lost since week 3.
Oh, I know. Seem to get better, don't they? Seem to get better and better. I would have to lean Columbus Grove just because of how hot they've been. Now, Lipsick's been pretty hot all season with just that one loss to Liberty Benton, who also beat Columbus Grove. But I would lean Columbus Grove in this one. But,
I would too.
Would not be a bit surprised if the halftime score is 14-14. I really wouldn't. Lipsick's good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, I'm like Grove in this matchup too. Sure what to think of a score.
Yeah, that'd be tough to pick because
Grove just has a way of finding a way to score a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown or whatever way it is.
Yeah,
to make up if they have a disparage in yardage.
Yeah, Lipsick's offense has been really good. They scored 35-36 against Mohawk. And then their first game with Pandora Gilboa was close, low scoring, and then they cranked it up last week offensively. This Grove defense, though, is pretty good. You put it in the air with Trevin Baxter kind of lurking back there. Gavin Barraza. And I've always thought Columbus Grove's secondary, from alignment to assignment, they're as good as I've seen over the years. And so I'm sure they'll try to do some things to disrupt Mark Kirkendall. But, we talked to Aaron George Saturday, and he was raving about Kirkendall's IQ. And I believe that. So should be a dandy. I think that'll be a good game.
Should be a great game.
Yeah.
Going to take our final break and come back and talk about the big one, maybe not just in our area, but the Buckeye State. It's the game that you said you would like to be at on Friday night. We may be at it. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll find out from the good folks at Walpock here later on in the week. But we'll be right back to break down the St. Henry and Marion local game coming up on Friday night after these messages. The fall sports season is here, and the Sports Place at Wasion Ace has you covered. Stop in for all your football, volleyball, soccer, and golf practice gear and accessories. Did you know that the Sports Place at Wasion Ace can create custom t-shirts while you wait? We can and we will. Come in with an idea and walk out with that perfect t-shirt of your own creation from the Sports Place at Wasion Ace. We also offer custom embroidery. Whether it's a shirt, jacket, or other item, the Sports Place can fill your embroidery needs. Stop in and see us at 1495 North Shoup Avenue in Wasion. Family owned since 1968, St. Holtz McCarnes Incorporated stands apart from other corporate-owned convenience stores. Our main stop convenience stores are branded Marathon and are locally owned and operated, including our new location on Scott Street in Napoleon. This drives our passion for providing the best possible products and services to our neighbors, friends, and family throughout Northwest Ohio. Main Stop convenience stores are the hub of many small communities in Northwest Ohio, and we strive to provide our customers with fast, friendly service and a fun atmosphere. And remember, the best stop is Main Stop. Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast as we round out our regional semifinal edition. Before we get to Region 28, Region 27 this week, number 1, Jeromesville Hillsdale, 11-1 versus number 11, Danville, the lowest remaining seed left in the playoffs. Danville 8-5. This game will be at West Lafayette's Ridgewood High School General Stadium. Hillsdale favored by 26, according to Ohio Fantastic 50, and I won't argue with them there.
No, I just, you got to like Hillsdale. 5 losses is too much for me, or whatever Danville has. I think 4 or 5 losses.
8-5.
8-5. So yeah, I like Hillsdale. Now the teams Danville's lost to, with one exception, have been pretty good teams that have, 9 or more wins. A couple of them, but yeah, Hillsdale's been at this point in the tournament. They've been there a lot over the years, and I don't know if they've ever been able to get a championship, but usually run into a buzzsaw.
Yes.
From the MAC.
Yep.
But I think they win this one.
Yeah. Region 28, Marion Local 12-0, number 1, 76 straight victories. Playing number 2, St. Henry 11-1. This game will be at Walpock High School's Mercy Health VFW Post 8445 field coming up on Friday night. Marion Local favored by 9, according to Fantastic 50, and by 19, according to Dub Stat. Make of that what you will.
Yeah.
These two teams met in the regular season, and it was Marion Local pulling out the victory, 14-7 in that one. But 19. I have trouble with that. It's interesting. You look 21-14. I say 14-7. That's not right.
Yeah,
21-14. Yeah.
You look at the scores, St. Henry versus the common MAC opponents that Marion Local played, and a lot of them are very similar.
Yeah. St. Henry making their 17th regional final and first since 2021. They've been to 10 state semifinals, the first coming in 1986. Follow those up with one in 1990, 1991, 1992, 1994, 1995, 1996, 1999, 2004, and 2006. Marion Local in its 25th regional final and been to the state semifinals 22 times, 1981, 1999. I'll save my breath for the rest of them. There's been a lot of them since then, all the way up into last year. And, of course, they have been to the Final Four since 2021 and won all of the state championships since then. Marion Local leads the series in the playoff era, 37-20-1. Be the fifth playoff meeting. In 1993, St. Henry won 35-7 in the regional semifinals. In 2012, Marion Local won 28-21 in the regional final. 2016, Marion Local won 22-0 in the regional semis. And they also met in 2021 with Marion Local winning 27-18 in the regional final. Marion Local won their last 19 against St. Henry, which last beat the Flyers 10-7 in Week 5 of the 2009 season. Regular season meeting all the way back on September 5th, Week 3 of the regular season. Coach Jack Hulsman returned an interception for St. Henry early on. Marion Local tied the game on a 3-yard Ben Meyer tote. Charlie Whirling gave St. Henry a 14-7 lead at half with a 69-yard TD jaunt with 2:43 left in the half. Hulsman picked off another pass moments later at the Marion Local 35. St. Henry got to the 1, but was stuffed on 3 straight runs by Charlie Whirling. Then Marion Local tied the game at 14 on a 10-yard pass in the third quarter and then took a 21-14 edge on a 35-yard pass in the fourth quarter from Brennan Hess to Cale Nagel. Marion Local had 222 yards on 51 plays. St. Henry had 195 on 40 plays, so a very defensive game. St. Henry had 46 yards passing, 149 on the ground. Marion Local had 133 through the air and 89 rushing. Marion Local had 2 turnovers. St. Henry had 1. St. Henry this season has outgained foes 3,926 to 2,287, including 2,477 to 942 on the ground. Marion Local, on the other hand, they have an edge of 3,783 to 1,943 in total yards. Marion Local opponents have 1,106 yards passing and just 837 rushing. So St. Henry's given up 942 on the ground. Marion Local, 837. Charlie Whirling leads St. Henry, 1,528 yards rushing, 28 touchdowns. Marion Local has gotten 927 yards rushing and 20 TDs from Camden Eifert. Brennan Hess, 112 of 162, 1,809 yards, 47 completions for 701 yards and 7 TDs to Braden Mesher, while Nagel has 576 yards and 8 touchdowns on 29 grabs. Hulsman and Landon Schwartz have 5 interceptions each for St. Henry. Anderson Kramer, 109 tackles to lead the Redskins. Seth Heitkamp has 80 stops for the Flyers. Jacob Muhlenkamp has 8 sacks for Marion Local, and Oliver Hulsman has 7. Mesher, 5 picks for the Flyers. St. Henry has forced 17 turnovers, and Marion Local has forced 17 turnovers going in to this one. 76 straight. St. Henry almost got him the first time, was stuffed at the goal line right before the half, or maybe that game turns in the favor of St. Henry.
That was a huge goal line stand. 2 turnovers.
Yep, interceptions.
2 interceptions.
1 return for a touchdown.
If Marion Local plays clean and does not turn the ball over a single time, does St. Henry have a chance? I think you get a night like that where you get a couple takeaways, and I know St. Henry gave it away once. They were +1. That was kind of a magical night to get 2 picks. You can't bank on those again.
You return 1 for a touchdown.
Return 1. It wasn't your offense that scored that. That might have been your best chance to get them, because you can't bank on the 2 turnovers. Now, if you can get a couple, one way or another, going to have to capitalize in the red zone. Other than that, I honestly, Lynn, I don't know what else to say other than these two are just going to strap it up, and all the cliches you want to talk about, field position and turnovers and special teams. I mean, this is going to be a classic.
If I set the over/under on offensive touchdowns at 3.5, would you take the over or the under?
I'd take the over.
You think there'll be more than 3.5 touchdowns offensively in this one?
I would take the over. Yes, I do. I
don't know that I would.
Wouldn't
this
you?
one may get even more defensive.
It could be. I mean, this thing could be 0-0 through 3. It could. Yeah, I would just have to take the over just because of the sheer talent on the field. Then you look in the same breath and look at the opposing defense, and you're like, how do you score on them? But yeah, I would take the over since you asked. I just how could I think it would take some guts to pick St. Henry. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go with Marion Local just because you have to. They always find a way. And that first game these two played, as close as it was, that might be as close as St. Henry's capable of getting to Marion Local. Or will they prove otherwise? I don't know. I'm going with the Flyers.
I think they're a little more diverse with the weapons that they have. Charlie Whirling's done a lot for the Redskins offense. Can somebody else step up for them on Friday night? I think that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, I do too, because Marion, I mean, they'll be schemed up for him. You said he carried it 3 straight times down in the goal line?
Yes, after they had that interception late in the first half. His last one was stopped on the as time ran out. 3 straight runs from the 1.
Yeah, and couldn't get in.
Nope.
Yeah, diversity is a factor there.
Yeah, with just Brennan Hess and Mesher and Meyer and Eifert. I just feel like Marion Local has a little bit more that they can throw at the St. Henry defense than what the Redskins can throw at Marion Local.
I would agree with that.
And Tim Goodwin gets you on film. Are you going to reinvent the wheel if you're Josh Whirling this week?
No,
or do you have some tricks up your sleeve?
Maybe. It's the problem with that. I think you do. You have some wrinkles, but the problem with that is Marion Local doesn't fall for that.
You don't ever see MAC teams get too cute.
No, you don't.
A lot of trick plays and whatnot.
You don't, and I think that's why so many times the playoff rematches play out so similar to how the regular season played out, is because before you can win, you have to first not lose. And you can beat yourself trying to get too cute. Those teams refuse to do that.
They got 1 offensive touchdown at St. Henry the first time. 1. And they had another chance at the 1 3 straight times and couldn't punch it in. Their other one was the defensive touchdown on the interception return. So I'm going to go like 20-0, 21-0, or 21-7 Marion Local.
Are you?
I just think it's going to be too hard for St. Henry to move the ball on Marion Local.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
We may see it. We may see it.
Yeah,
and if we can't get into a facility this week, we may go onto the sidelines for this game, or we may just post up at some place that has a bunch of games on TV and do a little NFL Red Zone style broadcast if we can.
Gosh,
I mentioned that to a couple folks, and they like that idea.
I really like that idea because we don't get to do that very often.
No.
You know what I mean? And enjoy
Fishmo's, yeah.
And
do we do a half at Fishmo's and a half at the Moeller Brew Barn?
Listen, I'd be all for it. Will
there be anybody left in either of those towns, or will they all be in Walpock on Friday night?
Knowing how honest and solid the people are down there and how everybody's going to be at the game, they may just leave it open and use the honor system. If you have something to drink or have a bag of chips or whatever, just this is how much things are. Leave it. Turn the lights off when you leave. You can do that kind of stuff down there still.
Yeah, you probably could.
I'd love to see.
Or we could go to McSober's.
That's cold water, right?
Cold water too.
I'd be game, man. I'd be game for that. We don't get to do that very often. We're usually yapping on Friday nights. So I'm good with whatever, however things shake out. Obviously, it'd be wonderful to be able to call a game somewhere, but if we can't, just to enjoy some of these matchups. And, gosh, I'll be busy on my phone trying to find this update and that update. And
if Trent Beckman's listening at McSober's, would you mind if we stop in there and do a little broadcast from there Friday night if Trent's listening?
that'd be,
Or maybe our good friends at the Moeller Brew Barn or Fish Mo's, if they're listening,
yeah,
they could set us up.
and we'll do a little.
We'll pay for our snacks.
Yes, we will. And we'll do a little.
You don't have to do that for us, but
do a little game day type setup preview,
Yeah.
Maybe get some folks from that area on to interview them as guests and
see what people think of that idea.
All right.
Give us some feedback. Email us, send us a message on social media. Let us know.
I'm up for anything, pal. My Fridays are blocked off.
Mine are too.
All the way through
I want to see
Canton.
this Marion local St. Henry game.
I do too.
I want to see it, even if I have to watch it on TV.
Same with me.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not above that one bit.
but how about the MAC? Going to have at least one team in Division 6 and Division 7 in the state semis.
No surprise. And it's business as usual. Business as usual. And they
This is the game you would go to, though. If there was one game in the whole state you could go to, this is it.
some people would say I'm crazy not choosing Elder St. X.
But this is small town Ohio.
It's what
The roots of Ohio high school football is this one. And we have Coldwater and Anna playing too.
I know.
But St. Henry and Marion local, the tradition that those two schools have in the communities, my goodness.
Could Coldwater and Anna end up being a better game?
It could be. I think it may be.
I know.
I think
and
it could be.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you have Hoban and Walsh Jesuit. I mean, if you're just a football fan, I mean, the talent on the field in that one would be hard to beat. But I'm small town guy like that, cornfields and lights, and I know the game will be at Wapak. They still have cornfields in Wapak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one for me. And then Cary and Hopewell.
Man, there's some good games this week.
Yeah, that one.
I just like to have about 25 TVs up.
I would too.
I could probably do with about 5.
Yeah,
Probably
I would
do with
too.
about 5.
We'd be in good shape here at Grandma's General Store with 2. We got 2 really nice
They'd
TVs.
have to add a couple more TVs.
I think Glenn and Greg probably would.
We could be the only ones here in Liberty Center, too.
Greg's got 4 extra.
Oh, he's got that big screen, too. We could just go to his basement
We could.
because he's got the setup there. He
He'd
wouldn't
do
even
it.
know we're there.
No, even though he and Carly will be at the Genoa Liberty game at Fostoria, I'm telling you right now, Greg would say, just turn the lights off when you leave.
Yeah.
He would.
Yeah.
You know he would. And he'd have Pepsi for us if we wanted some Pepsi too, probably.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Won't be many people left in Liberty Center on Friday night either.
No.
Or Columbus Grove.
They'll be lucky to be able to keep the main stop on the north side of town open. Finding an employee to man it,
Yeah. Boy, the weather's supposed to be pretty ideal for this time of year. I think the rain, like I said, will be moved out, and we'll be ready to go at 7 o'clock on Friday night and back Friday morning at 9 a.m. for Rise and Rewind presented by the Swanton Welding Company, as we'll break down all of our area games and all of the games around the state.
We'll have some good games to talk about.
I can't wait.
I can't either.
I can't wait.
It's like Christmas.
Coach, good to see you again.
You too.
We'll see you again on Friday night for a great regional final round of the Buckeye State playoffs.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you to everybody listening, watching us, and thank you to all of our sponsors. Have a great week and enjoy the football on Friday night around the Buckeye State.